Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general reading for the sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon or Ascendant for the month of April. I hope you're well. Using the Crow Tarot for you today. Right at the beginning of the year I did a 6-month overview for each of the signs. We are now halfway through that 6-month period, so I've reduced the cost of those readings down to about £2 or £3 or something like that. So if you haven't checked them out yet and you're interested, do by all means follow the link in the description box and go and have a look. At this point I really just want to get the message out, you know, that was contained in those readings. It's not about the money, it's never been about the money, so that's there if you want it. Also, if this reading resonates with you, there will be an extended at the end, so feel free to go and check that out. Right, my beautiful balls, let's have a look and see what's going on with you. Can I have 3 cards for Taurus, please? Oh, oh, lovely. Actually lovely, wow. So in your recent past we have the 3 of Swords. Don't worry, we'll get into that, we'll see what that's about. In your current energy we have the Sun, which is a card of Leo in the Major Arcana. And in April, what's coming towards you, we have the King and the Queen of Pentacles. Now that's Taurus and Capricorn energy respectively. But I'm drawn immediately to the fact that we have the 2 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck here, which talks about balance. More specifically, it talks about internal balance. You know, good balancing of your energetic currency, which is what I see Pentacles to indicate here. So anything that's capable of being invested, right, will be represented by a Pentacle. It is followed by the Fool, which I like too. So I'm not going to jump too far ahead of myself, but I see a number of different ways that that could be interpreted. So stick with it and we'll have a look. Get some clarifiers and we'll see what it's about. There's the Sun card as up there. Split the deck there as well. So could I please have some cards for this 3 of Swords? We have the Magician, we have the Page of Swords, that's the Sun. We have the 8 of Cups. And we have the 8 of Swords. Interesting. Tell me about the Queen and King of Pentacles, please. We have the Page of Wands. And, ooh, the Chariot. Ooh, this is lovely. I'm going to put one more because we've got 2 in the April. One more for that. Ace of Wands. Absolutely magnificent. So, we have the 4 of Pentacles and we have the 2 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. This is quite interesting because it's followed by the 8 of Pentacles actually. This is very interesting indeed. Actually, I'm not even slightly perturbed by this 3 of Swords, I have to say. It feels to me a little bit like you've been in contemplation of something. Now, it doesn't feel like it's necessarily active contemplation. This feels a little bit like it's what your subconscious has been doing, and it's been working on releasing a relationship that you have been holding on to. Now, you might not have been in this relationship for a long time, but it might have been quite important in terms of what it taught you about yourself, what it taught you about other people, you know, the learning experience that came as the result of this. And it did involve a 3 of Swords sort of situation. It's releasing. Bear with me, I've got all sorts of things just kind of hopping around in my head here. Now, often the way that you work, Taurus, is by that active contemplation of things. Like, you like to understand stuff, and this is one of the things that makes you a really good teacher, actually, because you're not prepared to sort of stand on a pedestal and say to people, right, this is the way to do things, unless you are absolutely sure that this is what it is. Now, there's a disproportionate number of Tauruses actually go on to be teachers of one description or another, and it's exactly this. It's about the experience that you gain. That you know, once you have it, you want to share it with other people. And so it's interesting that it feels like it's not one of those situations for you. This feels like it's something that's been passing along in the background, actually. That's Three of Swords. Yeah, okay. There's some really quite profound work having gone on here, like I said. And it does feel like it's passing in the background. We've got the Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, and the Six of Swords, and the Four of Wands. Now, this is about you having been in a situation that was, you know, did not meet your needs in any way, but that you probably did not notice, did not meet your needs at that point. Like we've talked about this at length, Taurus, you know, this sort of thing. We have you moving away from that here. The cards that have come up, and I've asked for some additional cards for the Three of Swords. We've got you immediately, then we've got the Five of Swords, and we've got this here, this Page of Cups, which is all about acceptance and forgiveness and compassion. And it seems to me that in the background, what your subconscious has been doing is forgiving you slowly but surely, in the way that Taurus likes to work, for mistakes that you made. And it does feel like it's mistakes that you made in the past, right? Now, please don't get immediately upset. Think that I'm saying it's because, you know, you fucked up a relationship and that's why it's gone wrong. That's not what I'm saying here, right? When I'm talking about the mistakes that you've made, it is things like over-investing in relationships, right? Not seeing the red flags, taking on far too much responsibility, right? That sort of thing you are absolutely guilty of doing, right? And you tend to attract toward you at those points in your life the sort of people who require fixing, the sort of people who are not prepared to do anything themselves. They're going to let you do it. You know, you just working and working and working all the time, right? We see here with the Magician and this this Page of Swords here is a looking back to a point where you were manipulated, and that actually does feel like what it is here, right? Now, I don't feel an associated sort of grief and pain with this. It feels really quite objective for you. And that's beautiful because it's your subconscious that's involved with this process here, right? The reason that I say it's beautiful is because it's what the subconscious is very good at doing is keeping you trapped, right? Another thing where Tauruses internalize the shit out of everything all of the time, right? And make everything your fault. It's like a consistent stick that you use to beat yourself with forever, right? But it feels like the level of work that you have done now is feeding through to the subconscious, right? It is really taking root there. And it is possible for you now to revisit, whether consciously or subconsciously, these old situations and see them really for what they are, right? It's a real clarity about the situation. And I think there's a joy in you being able to take responsibility for your part in, you know, whatever broke your heart here. So where it was that you found somebody who needed fixing, and Taurus loves to fix things, right? Where you found someone that you wanted to build with, and maybe you kind of bulldozed that sort of situation, not like forcing them to work with you, but not noticing that their level of investment did not match yours, right? I see you really releasing a lot of the very painful stuff that went along with that, which is absolutely extraordinary. I love it. I just want to pull another couple of cards for this Magician though. Yeah. Because more than that, what I actually feel, and this is extraordinary, Taurus, I really love this, is not only a degree of forgiveness for yourself, but also forgiveness toward them. It's sort of they know not what they do kind of sort of situation here. Being very, very discerning, because we have this Queen of Swords here, and she's all about information sifting. Remember I said it felt very, very objective. Well, there is the objectivity. But we also have this Page of Cups, right? There's almost an element of a... Well, let's face it, right? If you had a lottery win, you wouldn't be bugging them any money. But there's a certain level of abstract gratitude for the lesson that has been learned here that's sort of starting to kind of creep in a little bit. Your life is so much better now than it was prior to this experience that your subconscious can kind of dive down and have a little look at it and go, yeah, Well, I'm not going to do that again. That was a truly difficult lesson learned. And I'm ready to move on. And move on you really have, because in your current energy, you have the sun. Taurus, you are shining right now. And I love to see this for you, because there has been a return, right, to the fundamental essence of Taurus, right? Swelling up to fill your face. Fucking, I've done it again. I'm sure I did this once in a Taurus read. It's such a Freudian slip. I mean, for some of you, I mean, that's possibly the case. Well, Taurus really love food, but I know that some of you don't like that stereotype. But I've known a few Tauruses in my time. That actually is a thing, right? Swelling up to fill your space. Okay. And being completely unapologetic about it. And more than that, not even feeling like, here is a situation where I would have felt apologetic in the past, and I'm not going to do it. It's not like that. It's actually very pure. It's very mindful of yourself and not those things that don't require consideration, right, from you. So other people's viewpoints and perspectives and projections and all of those kind of things. It's not taking things personally. It is detached, but in the best possible way for you. And I really, really love this, because what we have is you know, we've got 2 8s here. Very karmic numbers. You have learned a truly profound lesson. And for most of you, this is, we're in now, April. So like 15 or 16 months down the road in this process. Because I think it was about January 2020 when I really picked up that there were a lot of Tauruses who were doing a lot of work here. And you're standing resolute now, you know, unapologetic. It's not even occurring to you that an apology might be needed here. And you have completely removed the restrictions that were keeping you stuck where you were before, right? There's been a release of emotions associated with, you know, lots of things. There's an understanding that you've kept yourself trapped in lots and lots of ways, and actually it's time to start spreading. It's time to start expanding, not just, you know, your personality, but your mind, all of these sorts of things. And I can pull another couple of cards here. Right. 4 of Pentacles in reverse, stunning, and the 6 of Wands. I think 4 of Pentacles in reverse, 6 of Wands, right? Another Leo card, actually, one that speaks about victory. But more than that, it talks about it talks about rebirth, because the 6 of Pentacles here is depicted by the phoenix, right? You have been reborn, Taurus, and it's simply glorious. We've got another Leo card here with the Strength card. I love this one. There, there's a woman on top of the rock there, and she is literally facing down cosmological forces, right? Empowerment. You are so empowered to where you were this time last year. It's not even funny. And we've got the Hanged Man. The thing that changed was your perspective, right? We've got the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck here. It's Capricorn energy, but it is all about the self, right? Look, knowing the value of the self. I see the Pentacles suit, right? The Page, the Knight, and the Queen, all as different levels of understanding the value of something, right? And more often than not, that is yourself, because the Queen here is the Queen of self-care, right? So the Page discovers something, and it's just like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. It's awesome. It's worth so much. I am dedicating myself to this now. The production of more of these, you know, the finding of more of these, whatever it is. The Knight of Pentacles then goes out into the world, holding that front and center and being like, right, here is my self-worth, right? You respect this or fuck off, right? That's it. By the time it gets to the Queen, she's really understanding the incredible value of really investing in yourself, because what Tauruses have done forever is invest in other people, right? It's the most beautiful giving energy that you have, but it's been misguided, it's been misplaced, because you've always done it at the expense of yourself. Now what you're learning is that you can invest in yourself and you actually get more reward out of it, because the kind of people that are coming towards you are the ones that respect that level of self-investment, and also reflect it back at you. You know, shut this fucking window. Because, you know, birds of a feather do flock together. That is absolutely true. And there's been a refinement in the type of people that you choose to spend time with, that you choose to invest in. Those ones that you invest in now are ones who absolutely deserve, you know, the might of what it is that Taurus can bring to the table in a friendship, in a relationship, in a family situation, even in work, you know, however it goes. It's a stunning validation for me, watching how you've developed over this year, you know, to see you being sat in this energy now. I can't tell you how maternal I feel over you all anyway, like you've just been so beautiful, but you're just standing out there on your own now. You know, we've the herd is always going to be really important to you because you are a herd animal. You're about the community, you're about providing for your nearest and dearest and making sure that they have everything that they need. But there's a sense of you being able to stand alone too now and not feel in any way exposed by it, not feel unnecessarily vulnerable. You know, you're quite prepared to put everything that you are on the table and go, what do you think about that? No, it won't go on the table because it's too fucking big because I'm a bull, right? We're going to have to go to the field to go and see it instead because it takes up so much space. Love it. So what we have coming towards you in April is intriguing because we have the King and the Queen of Pentacles. Now, we could rush straight to, you know, the possibility that there could be somebody coming in for you. And I have to say, given the cards that are on the table, we cannot ignore that as a possibility. I'm going to pull some further cards and we'll see what it is. And the gender of the cards here doesn't mean shit. So I don't want you to get like wound up in that at all, right? It's just the masculine and feminine expressions of the energy, right? So you could be a female Taurus, a person could be a male Capricorn, might be nothing to do with that, right? May not be even sign specific at all. But what I do see is you showing up really authentically, as you like to do nowadays, and I enjoy watching that happen. But we also have a complementary energy here, right? Doesn't have to be an earth sign, could be a fire sign, could be an air sign, could be a water sign, doesn't really matter, right? But the thing that's really drawing me here is the balance. That's the thing here. Because we all have masculine and feminine energies inside of us, and sometimes they get tilted too far one way or the other, right? When you have too much feminine energy, you become passive and you become, you know, complacent, and sometimes then you become passive aggressive. The toxic end of that is, you know, somebody who is developing a victim complex because because they just sit in a state of receipt and they are always just reacting to the things that are coming in rather than going after them themselves. When you've got too much masculine energy and it goes towards the toxic end of that, what you have is somebody who is aggressive and dominant and forcing themselves into situations, you know, of fucking vanishingly small amount of self-awareness, that sort of thing, you know, and it can be very aggressive, right? So what we're always searching for is the perfect balance between the masculine and the feminine within ourselves, but also within our relationships with other people. Either or, I could see being the case here. But let's have a look at the clarifiers that have come up underneath, because the very first one was the Page of Wands. Now, this one always, oh good, there it is, it always gives me a little frisson, right? It's a little like butterfly kind of thing happens in my chest there, because it's about a mounting excitement for something, right? And sometimes it can be travel, you know, we see that. But the whole one suit for me is about living and about experience. And this is important. Of all of the pages, you know, and they all have a job to do. They're envoys for the kings, right? So they're delivering messages around. This is the one who actually gives less of a shit about his job. right, than the others, because he's all about what he gets to see and learn and experience in the process of doing his job, right? It's a very multifaceted, very layered kind of approach to his own future, and it's exciting, right? It's something that he really feels passionate about, and like he's gazing at that wand there at the top, which is just starting to sprout, you know, and at some point this is going to be huge. He's in training to be a king, you know. But it's an adventurous spirit. Now, we also have the Chariot and we have the Ace of Wands. Now, this is the card of Cancer in the Major Arcana, but it is extraordinary for you because it talks about balance and alignment, right? We have these two sphinxes depicted here. And the Charioteer is holding them in perfect alignment so that this chariot can move forwards, right? I sometimes see this card as talking about shadow work, because for me that charioteer forms a point of integration between the polarities, right? And for that we're talking about the conscious and the subconscious, or the non-conscious, you know, however we want to see it, you know, night and day, light and dark, positive and negative, you know, keeping everything in alignment and moving forwards to victory. So this is the thing, it's very determined, but it's also, in addition to all of those things, the card of the self, right? It's about being autonomous, it's about being secure in your own decision making and confident in your own decision making, and being very focused about driving forwards to, you know, whatever victory looks like for you. Now, both of these talk about movement. This one, a precursor to movement. This one, movement actually occurring, right? And what is it going towards? It's going towards the Ace of Wands. Now, the reason that I said that this could potentially be a relationship is because, heteronormative as it is, like this is the Dick card, and it often talks about sexual relationships, right? That's possible. You could have met someone who has lit a bit of a fire in you, and in the month of April things start to take off, right? I mean, it's quite a sexual card, right? But it's potential, and it's huge, inspired, creative energy. This, like, it's a big energy. We go from a precursor to movement to the arrival at something new, right? That's the journey that I'm seeing here. I'm going to pull another couple of cards here, because just as the Strength card talks about empowerment, you know, and strength and determination, so does the Chariot. Now that's Ace of Wands, please. Whoa. We've got the King of Pentacles again. I'm going to put those back because they dropped down. Tell me about the Ace of Wands, please. We have the Lovers card. Thank you. And we have the King of Swords. Right. This is interesting. Right. We've got the Devil, the Emperor, and the Ace of Wands here on the table, right? That's some pretty steamy sort of situations there, I'm not going to lie, right? If this is a relationship type thing. If it's not, then what we're talking about is you really getting in control of something. Like the Devil card is not all bad, right? It absolutely isn't. It's the purview of the material world. And so it is an energy that you kind of move in and out of quite a lot. It's the card of Capricorn, right? It's a fellow earth sign like you. But it talks about those things that are tangible, you know, absolutely perceptive by your own body. We've got this Emperor card here, another card of empowerment, really, really stepping up. I love this for you. So we have the King of Pentacles here, but we also have the King of Swords. So we have Taurus and we have Aquarius. We have Gemini here in the middle. And that is, if this is a relationship, this bodes really, really well, because this is a card of alignment. It's one of the things that it means, at least. It's alignment. And then we have you, and we have air sign energy here. Like I said, don't care about the fact that it's a king. It's strictly Aquarius, but it could be any kind of air sign, right? But the other thing that it talks about is conscious co-creation. It's a card of manifestation. Now, you've already had the Magician on the table here, right? This manifestation energy is actually coming through really quite strong. It suggests to me the arrival of a decision that needs to be made for you in the month of April. Now, this is one that has big consequences, not because of which option that you pick, but the fact that you stand up and you take this decision in the first place, right? That's where the conscious co-creation bit comes in, because it's like, there are decisions that need to be made about my life and I am prepared to make them, right? Quite often people are so afraid of consequences that they end up just sitting in this reactive state all of the time, right? And life just sort of happens at them, and it's a constant sort of firefighting. Rather than going, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something proactive and I'm going to do it over here. This month sees you stepping up to do that. And there's something relatively transformational about it for you, because it feels like it's something that you might not necessarily have had the confidence to do in the past, right? We've got the King of Swords, so we've got a high degree of objectivity going on here, but we've also got the King of Earth who's keeping you grounded. But it's kind of pushing your comfort zone out a little bit here, which I'm, here for all day long. One more card. Tell me about this King of Swords, please. We have the Devil in reverse, we have Strength, and we have the Hierophant. Holy shit, this sign's just coming up everywhere. Right, Devil in reverse, Strength, and the Hierophant. Here's you again, Hierophant energy. I love this one. This is really like in nature. And nature is your church. But we've got the Strength card, we've got you growing, we've got you expanding, we've got you becoming more and more empowered, more and more emboldened actually. And with this Capricorn card of the Devil in the reverse, like the things that have traditionally held you back are really starting to fall by the wayside. And it's all the back of this passing of this information that's happened in the background, right? It's stepping you up here. Now feels like the time where changes are going to start happening for you, bigger changes. Now, I can't remember what came out in this 6-month overview, but I do remember that the first couple of months were a little bit ropey. And then from there, it was like you really found your stride and things started to improve dramatically. This looks like it to me, Taurus. I'm here for this all day long. I love it. Oh, I'm so proud of you, you know that. Anyway, if this has resonated with you, I'm going to go over to Vimeo now and we're going to pull some more cards and have a look and see what's going on. But if you're not, no shade, that's all cool. It really does look like April's an exciting month for you. I just really like where you are right now and where you are going. So it's brilliant, right? Know that I love you all very, very much, and I will see you soon.